Now remember, we still need to do GP update. So I'm going to open up a command prompt again just so you can see what goes on. And this will refresh our group policy setting changes. So since we changed the default domain controller policy to allow users to log on locally, we also changed the default domain policy, the password policy, so we can have simple passwords. Once we perform the GP update, now we can actually create a password with something very simple like PASS. Let's go over here and let's go to Northern Hemisphere, and we don't want to give our top agents a simple password. We'll give our enemy agents simple passwords. Ha ha ha. So let's make a user, and Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil will be our user. Password, I'm just going to lowercase PASS. PASS. And that fits our minimum requirement of 4 characters. Now let's look at modifying that again. Just go to Management Console and again, let's go into our default domain policy. Now let's see what would happen if we were to cut that back on. Say for security purposes, we'll go edit the GPO, the group policy object, and in Windows settings, security settings, let's go to account policies and our password policy. Password must meet complexity requirements. Let's go ahead and enable that. And that should be a minimum of at least 7 characters. And we'll leave that. Let's go ahead. And now we'll go on to Active Directory user computers and try to create another user. And let's make another enemy agent. And who will we call our enemy agent? Barney Rubble. Pirates.org. Now let's try to use a simple password now. PASS. PASS is what I'm typing. Oh. Forgot to do my GP update. See what happens when you don't do GP update? We changed the policy, but it didn't take effect. I'm going to update the policy settings with GP update. But you guys were screaming, update the policy. Okay. Now, let's make another enemy agent. Again, we'll try to use a simple password. Let's do user, and let's see. Fred Flintstone. And all simple lowercase PASS. Now notice what it tells me. Windows cannot set the password for Fred Flintstone because the password does not meet the password policy requirements. Check the minimum password length, password complexity, and password history requirements. So again, in this case, I would either have to use a complex password on Fred Flintstone, or I'd have to change my policy back. And I'm going to change it back. I just kind of wanted you guys to see that in group policy. And again, I'll just go ahead and add a snap-in and group policy management. And I got the resolution turned down pretty low here for a decent screen capture, but let's go ahead and edit the GPO group policy object, and I'm going to go policies, Windows, security, and I'm going to go to account policies and password, and I'm going to disable complex passwords, and I'll set the minimum password to be 4. And I'm going to go ahead and close that, Again, I want to do a GP update. And now let's go into Active Directory users and computers. And we'll make another agent with a simple password. Let's go make a trainee here. Make a trainee, and let's call our trainee Scooby. And Scooby at pirates.arg. User cannot change password, and now all lowercase PASS. Not a very getting a cell phone call here. That's a text-to-speech engine on my cell phone. So anyway, pardon that. That's the text-to-speech engine on my cell phone, and I completely lost my train of thought now. I'll have to call her back in a minute. In this case, we've created Scooby, and he has a simple password, all lowercase, just 4 letters, PASS. So that's sort of an example of the password account policies and the local user logon and network logon privileges for users and groups in Active Directory.